Thanks for joining me on episode 468 of the Inspired Stewardship Podcast.
I'm Wayne Titus, author of The Entrepreneur's Guide to Financial Well-Being. I encourage you to be inspired to become a better steward through financial wisdom by listening to this, the Inspired Stewardship Podcast with my friend Scott Mader.
But you're not even thinking about, is it the right things? That's the difference. And we focus on being busy because being busy seems to be a source of pride in our culture. It's something that we hold up and say is a valuable thing. We look at being busy and say, busy is a good thing. But I'm here to tell you the truth is, busy isn't a good thing. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Inspired Stewardship Podcast. If you truly desire to become the person who God wants you to be, then you must learn to use your time, your talent, and your treasures for your true calling. In the Inspired Stewardship Podcast, you will learn to invest in yourself, invest in others, and develop your influence so that you can impact the world. In today's episode about developing your influence by stewarding your time, I talk with you about the difference between being busy and being productive. I talk about why being productive is the real goal and why we more often focus on being busy. As we talk about stewarding your time, wouldn't it be great if you could support this podcast and do it without just taking too long? Turns out you can't. All you have to do is use inspiredstewardship.com/Amazon when you're ready to make a purchase via Amazon, and a small commission will come back to support the show just that quick. If you enjoy the show when you are ready to buy from Amazon, just use inspiredstewardship.com/Amazon. I'm just so busy. I'm too busy to do that. I'm always busy. These are the sorts of things that you hear people say day after day, time after time. You've probably said it yourself. And what's more is it's probably even the truth. The truth is that we are very busy people. We spend our time doing a lot of different things. We get up in the morning and we go from sunrise until our head hits the pillow and we collapse into bed at the end of the day. But all too often, too, you find yourself thinking at the end of the day, man, I was so busy today, but I really didn't get the right things done. You find yourself frustrated by the fact that you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. That's the expression, right? And you're not actually getting the most important things done. Maybe it's things around your work life. Maybe it's things around your home life. Maybe it's spending time with the people that are most important to you. Whatever it is, you've got things on your list that are really important that you just find yourself being too busy to get to them. See, the truth is there's a huge difference between busy and productive. All too often we focus on increasing our time management and our efficiency so that we can just get busier, so that we can cram more things into our day. I want to get faster at churning out a podcast episode so that I can add more tasks to my day and just spend more time running around doing more. But we don't actually ever take the time to step back and think, is more really the goal? Is it about doing more, or is it about doing the right things? Is it about focusing on those things that are a priority in your life, that are most important, and getting those done first, which sometimes includes carving out time to actually do nothing at all, to rest, to relax, to recharge your batteries, to spend time with your family, to spend time with your friends. See, we spend all of our time focusing on busyness and not enough time actually asking, is getting faster, is doing more, is cramming more into my day really what I'm after? Or instead, am I after focusing on those things that are really the leverage points that move the needle, that get done the things that are the most important? What can I do today to make tomorrow easier? As opposed to what can I do today to make today easier? See, that's the difference between being productive and just being busy. And productivity is really the goal. It's one of the reasons that I don't like talking about what I do when I work with people on goal setting and productivity. I don't like talking about it in terms of time management. We don't really manage our time. We use our time. We spend our time. And productivity needs to be the real goal, not just efficiency. It's not about getting faster just to get faster. It's not about doing more just so you can say you did more. It's not about working longer just so you can say you worked longer. It's about finding the ways to leverage who you are and how you're wired, and finding your values and your priorities and what's most important to you, and then aligning what you do with how you do it so that you can increase efficiency and not just do more, but actually do the right things. You can leverage the time you spend today to make the time you spend tomorrow even easier, and to make the time you spend the day after that even easier, to continue to get that snowball rolling until it's working for you instead of against you. That's kind of the goal with money. That's kind of the goal with time. That's kind of the goal with the energy that you spend on your business. So it's not just about not working. It's not about finding ways to just do less, but it is about finding ways to focus on the most important things. And see, what happens all too often to us is instead we focus on busyness. Busy becomes a source of pride. Busy becomes something that we brag about. We look at other people and we say, I am just so busy. I'm a busy person. I can't do that because I'm too busy. Think about it. You've heard yourself say that before. Busy becomes a source of pride. Busy becomes something that we use as a measure to be proud of. And I'll tell you right now, being busy isn't something to be proud of. Being productive is something you should be proud of. But just being busy just means you're spending a lot of time doing a lot of things. But you're not even thinking about, is it the right things? That's the difference. And we focus on being busy because being busy seems to be a source of pride in our culture. It's something that we hold up and say is a valuable thing. We look at being busy and say, busy is a good thing. But I'm here to tell you the truth is, busy isn't a good thing. Busy just means you're busy. It doesn't actually mean you're making real progress. It doesn't actually mean you're moving forward effectively. It just means you're spending a lot of time doing a lot of stuff. And probably at some point it catches up to you and you find yourself exhausted, worn out, burned out, frustrated, tired, angry, and just not able to do it anymore. You take it out on the people that you love the most. You end up losing relationships, losing friends. You end up spending all of your time on things that in reflection you look back on later and go, they weren't that important. That's the difference between being busy and being productive. Thanks for listening. Thanks so much for listening to the Inspired Stewardship podcast. As a subscriber and listener, we challenge you to not just sit back and passively listen, but act on what you've heard and find a way to live your calling. If you like this episode on the stewardship of time, be sure to sign up for our Stewardship of Time Tips series by going to inspiredstewardship.com/time or texting 44222 time tips, and that'll get you our best tips on stewarding your time. Until next time, invest your time, your talent, and your treasures. Develop your influence and impact the world.